Hello, I'm Pastor Nathan Keith here in Trinity Lutheran Church in Laramie, Wyoming. I want to welcome you to this time where we can reflect on life in Scripture together. I want to start by walking through the fields in Sherwood, North Dakota. My uncles were farmers, and I remember as a child walking through the wheat fields, and it's like a scene in a movie where you're just rubbing your hands on the top of the wheat. And I remember taking that wheat as a kid and breaking it up in my hand and eating it. It's a beautiful memory that I have. Another memory I have is with my Uncle Arlen talking about the seed that he put into the ground. And he said it was just an incredible moving experience to see that seed breaking forth out of the dirt. And so today my thoughts are on feeding. And there's a story in our scriptures, it's called the feeding of the 5,000, and Jesus was walking along the fields and out in the countryside, and crowds were walking with him, and it came time that they needed to eat. But they didn't have enough food. I mean, it says the feeding of the 5,000, but we know during this time they often didn't count women and children, so it was a massive crowd. And we're told that they only had a few loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus broke it and blessed it, and all were fed. And for us Christians, we look at this text and we think about the gift of Holy Communion, where Jesus takes bread and the wine and breaks it and blesses it and gives it for all, and there's always enough to eat for all. But how are we living that in our lives today, especially during COVID-19? I mean, for some reason we're hoarding toilet paper. And I know why, because it kind of takes away a bit of that anxiety, a bit of that worry. It gives us a sense of control. But are we living in a theology of scarcity or in a theology of abundance? We have an abundant God and we have an abundant world. We have all that we need. There is enough for all in this world. We just need to have that compassion to share. I mean, a few loaves of bread and 2 fish, those who brought that food to that day on the feeding of the 5,000 certainly could have held it and fed their own family, but instead they shared. They had compassion for those who were also hungry and gave them the gift of a meal. So I invite you this week, as you think about where you're at and as you think about providing for your own family's needs, and I know that you want to do that. I want to do that. But how can we bless? How can we bless and break the food and the gifts that we have so that we can share that with a broken world? As you gather in your homes, I invite you to allow the compassion of our God to seep deep within, as you then are a blessing to the world. Peace to your day.